Thanks for the support as a channel member, Kyle Bykirch. Here we go then, boys and girls. We are entering into the final season of rebuilding Barcelona. We had an epic transfer window at the end of last week, and now we are ready, back playing a traditional Barcelona 4-3-3 to make sure this debt is fully repaid and win the Champions League. Easy peasy. Hello and welcome to part 21 of Rebuilding Barcelona. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new season as we show off our new look team. We're at home to both Valencia and Athletic Club. Since you were last with me, nothing major has happened. Obviously, we had the quite significant transfer window that we did in the last episode. Notable signings, Nonto as our new striker, or a new striker, and Jude Bellingham in midfield. We've sold quite a lot of the fringe players to fund that. The other piece of news right at the end of the transfer special was that Matthias de Ligt became available at Juventus for somewhere in the region of £50 million. And with the Eric Garcia contract situation that we've got, de Ligt would be the perfect guy to come in and play centre-back for us. But no one wants to buy Garcia. We've offered him out. There's no takers. So as a last roll of the dice, I've gone back to the ever-trusted Barcelona board, who've never made irresponsible financial decisions before, and said, look, I know we've got no money, but I've done the old signing de Ligt would really help me achieve my goals this season. And they've taken over negotiations for de Ligt. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but they agree he is exactly the kind of signing that we need. A potential reunion with Frankie de Jong at the base of our midfield as well. Obviously, if de Ligt comes in, presumably that is going to add new debt to the pile. If we have a look at the debt situation currently, with a year to go, we're in £43 million of debt, and almost all of that is the instalments on the Jude Bellingham transfer. So at the moment, we just need to make sure we've got at least 40 million or £43 million in our bank balance, or I guess at least 300. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. I think we'll still be able to break even. If de Ligt comes in, we can transfer list Garcia, because if you're not fully up to date with the episodes, Eric Garcia doesn't want to renew his contract at the end. He is going to be leaving on a free transfer when his contract expires in 2 seasons' time. So if we can get anything in the region of £50 million for Garcia now, I am up for doing that, but I don't really want to transfer list him until I know we've got somebody else coming in. We've also got Facundo Torres, who we're trying to get rid of, but we can't get rid of him. But we've got 2 weeks of transfer window left. So if de Ligt comes, we just spend that 2 weeks really, really, really trying to push Garcia and Torres out of the door to try and come close to breaking even on the deal as we possibly can. I mean, if they both go for full value, we more than break even on the de Ligt deal, but we can't push too hard until we know de Ligt is happening. It's very complicated. But for now, let's not worry about complicated. Let's worry about easy and carefree and seeing our new look team perform together for the first time. We have switched back to a 4-3-3. The people of Barcelona rejoice after 3 years of having to put up with a hideous 4-2-3-1 that we used because it got the job done. But we are trying to leave Barcelona better than we found them. We're trying to complete our 4-year job in a way that sees me as... I want to be seen as the man who saved Barcelona. So let's leave them with Bellingham. Let's leave them with Nonto and Fati and Pedri and Rice and de Jong and de Ligt and Pepetti, ter Stegen. This core of real top-level players with no debt playing the Barcelona way. It would be perfect if we can pull it off. But this system actually has to work. Oh, hang on. I was expecting to submit the team there. But a £28 million offer for Facundo Torres is delicious. We've now just offered a flat 73 million, which presumably the board are going to fund, because we certainly don't have it. I've only ever used that board negotiation button once or twice before, ever. But if it works, I'll be absolutely delighted. So, the team for Valencia. Anyway, ter Stegen in goal. A back four of Balde, Sula, Garcia and Porro. De Jong, Rice and Bellingham as our new look midfield 3. Fati and Pedri out wide and Memphis Depay up front. We have lots of other options on the bench to shuffle this around. This is, although it's the system I want to use this year, it's not necessarily nailed on as the combination of players that we're going to use. We've obviously got Nonto, who's just come in, who was the third top scorer in the Champions League last year, I think. We've got Tammy Abraham, who's been our top scorer for the last 2 years, neither of them even in the team. We've got Memphis can play in midfield. Grimaldo probably comes back in at left back, and we might be making some personnel changes at centre back yet too. But this will do for the first day of the season, and we want a show from Jude Bellingham, who's cost an absolute fortune and is considered one of the best players in the world. He went straight in as top player in La Liga, according to the media prediction page. So he is now the best player in this league, apparently. We have our new Messi. We want to see him just pull all the strings from the word go today. And Ansu Fati is in, the assist from Declan Rice. And it's 1-0 inside the first 2 minutes. Tiki-taka is back at the new camp, boys and girls. And it's immediately led to a goal from a homegrown player. The good times are back, boys and girls. This is it. I know we've won La Liga the last 3 years. It's not exactly been 3 years of hardship while we've been rebuilding this team. But this is going to be Barcelona back in their pomp. This is going to be Barcelona back with world-class players again. And this is going to be Barcelona winning the Champions League this year. We've got to win the Champions League this year. I know it was never officially a goal for the series, but the way the series has gone, I didn't anticipate winning La Liga 3 times in a row. The fact that we've been that dominant domestically. Oh, look at this football. And there's Jude Bellingham's first goal. It's taken him 12 minutes. It's lovely football. It's like watching Barcelona. Look at it. You're going to hear that a lot this year. De Jong to Baldi. Baldi playing it into Memphis, who plays it across selflessly to Bellingham, playing as that attacking Mazzala from midfield, charging forward. And we're going to see a lot of Jude Bellingham making late runs into the penalty area this season, I suspect. But at 2-0, what I was saying is, bearing in mind we've won the league 3 times in a row, and we are starting to put together a real top level side again. I think we've got to add winning the Champions League as a goal, and if we don't do it, there'll always be maybe we should have won the Champions League. I certainly think this team, if we can add the missing piece of the puzzle, which De Ligt will forever be known as now, we have got world class players down the spine of the team if we bring him in, and I think there's not much of an excuse for not doing it in that situation. Last couple of years, we've been able to say, yeah, but we've overachieved with a bunch of journeymen and kids. That's not really the case anymore. We are mixing it up in big transfers again. We've got to win the thing. And Memphis playing it wide. I mean, although he's got the assist early on, he needs to be aware of the fact that there's 2 very, very, very good strikers sat on the bench. And if he doesn't start the season with a bang, he loses his spot up front, and then he's battling for a spot out wide with Fati and Pedri. And yeah, I guess we could push Pedri back into midfield, but which of these 3 do we drop? The obvious spot for Pedri is the spot that Bellingham is in. Are we withdrawing Bellingham into being a more support midfielder? Are we playing Pedri as a more support mid? We've got options, is what I'm saying. So Memphis needs to play well immediately. We are keeping an eye on Pedri as well, who's playing as a second playmaker, something I've not done in Football Manager for about 4 years. 4 years real time, not 4 years game time. Ever since Miles told me in a video that we made together like 3 or 4 years ago that you shouldn't use 2 playmakers in the same team. I've never done it. I just feel like this team, it should work. And I mean, we're 3-0 up over Valencia after 26 minutes. Valencia are one of the better teams in La Liga. So to me, it suggests it is working, although we're not exactly getting world-class performances from either Pedri or De Jong, the 2 playmakers. But we are playing well as a team. So we'll give it time to work. The 2 lowest performers in the team are the 2 playmakers. Interesting. Look how far back Memphis has tracked there. We get total footballs back at Barcelona. Forget tiki-taka. We've got total football. Memphis was just playing at left back. That was ridiculous. Pedro Porro now on the right-hand side to Bellingham. And now Rice back to De Jong. Playing it forward to Baldi, who's come up to join the attack. He's going to try and skip past his man. He's got a battle on his hands for a first-team spot this season as well. He's been a fringe player ever since the save started. Grimaldo's been fantastic, but Baldi has started the season with a bang on a 7.6 so far and doing very well. This has been an excellent first-half performance. More of this, please, boys and girls. I guess we have to shuffle things around a little bit for the second match to try some different options while you're there to see them. I wonder, do we try Pedri in midfield? Do we try... I mean, we've got to look at Nonto. How do we get him in? Ooh, it's exciting. I love this feeling, this point at a save, when it just feels like the plan is coming together and greatness is approaching, and Memphis has his second goal of the game. We said he'd have to be on form immediately. He's on form immediately. 2 goals already for Memphis, and this is just an excellent performance and an excellent goal as well. De Jong pulling the strings, Pedri with the cross, so that should bump up both of their ratings for the match so far. It certainly has for Pedri. De Jong still showing on a 6.8. I wonder how much glory he's going to be showered in playing in that role. That's very important. I mean, every goal highlight, he's been in the highlight. He is playing an important role. I don't know if it's a role that's going to lead to ratings necessarily. I think we probably are going to withdraw him, drop Declan Rice back into that role, and I want to get Nonto on. So we're going to bring him on there. We're going to bring Pedri back. Bellingham, I think, can probably do that role. I'm sure. You pay this amount of money for a midfielder, you expect him to be able to play the whole of midfield. He can. So Bellingham can go there, Pedri there, and then we put Nonto up front, Fatty out on the right, Depay on the left. We've shuffled everything around massively to have a look at the new boy. But we need to have a look at the new boy. And then what else do we want to do? Fitness-wise, everyone seems all right at the moment. I think, you know what? We're going to bring Demir on for Fatty because we're continuing the development of Yusuf Demir. He started to get more and more game time towards the end of last year. So more of that, please. But I want to see Nonto. I want to see if he's as good as I'm expecting him to be. He's lightning quick. He feels like the kind of player, just looking at his attributes, who should be breaking the match engine in half and just destroying things and scoring 40 goals. But he could just as easily be someone who just decides to disappoint me all year because he's a kid, a young kid, and he might be one for the future. And we don't really have a future. We've got 1 year. He needs to deliver now. Good save from ter Stegen. It remains 4-0 with 10 minutes to go. And I still have the Streamer Showdown stuff around the ground, it seems. That's staying now. We're keeping that to the end of FM21. It'll be gone for FM22, but we'll just leave it on there. There's no point. We've got like 7 or 8 videos left on this game. I'm not taking it off now. Just, it's some free advertising for the Streamer Showdown. They need it. I'm bigger than the Showdown these days. Heavy 6 times, bigger than the Showdown. Right, Valencia have scored. It's fine. We don't need to worry. We don't need to see their silly free kick again. What we are going to do is just bring Perpetti on at the back. Not because we necessarily needed to fix the defence, but because Perpetti needs more game time this year, especially with De Ligt potentially on the way. Long term, your centre-back partnership would be Perpetti and De Ligt. So we can't let him fall too far down the selection list. We need to move Garcia on if De Ligt comes in, for sure. Right, Baldi on the left. He's had a very good game. Bellingham into Memphis for his hat-trick. He's delivered his hat-trick. 3 for him for today, 5 for us. 91 minutes gone. Valencia, it's like they're having a showbiz relationship. Barcelona 5, Valencia 1. And that'll do for a first day of the new season. Memphis with a lovely little finish. And that is that. More of that, please, boys and girls. The tiki-taka looks like it's going to work. We'll play the next league game as well, because I'm hoping we have a new signing appear between the two. And then we need to take that system into the Champions League, and hopefully it works a little bit better than the Champions League did last year. This is a weird one because he's not registered in our squad, so he's showing as unregistered, ineligible to play. It's not as if we're massively overpaying him. He's only getting £44,500 a week. He's on the transfer list. He's surplus to requirements. But for whatever reason, Facundo Torres does not want to leave. He has turned down so many offers. I can't believe Lyon were offering him massively less money than what we're paying him. And we would have given him a payoff anyway. It's a very strange one. Still no news. See, the offers are getting lower and we just want rid of him. Yes, we'll take that offer. It's fine. Offer him a little bit more money as part of it. Please and thank you. No news on De Ligt yet. What we might do, if the De Ligt transfer doesn't resolve one way or the other before this next match, I might do that one offline and just do the next bit right at the end of the transfer window and come back to you with, I think there is a match on deadline day, so we can just show that one. That way, at least you're seeing the resolution to that transfer story today. Is De Ligt coming in? And are we immediately making him captain? Probably not, but there'd be an argument for him becoming captain sooner or later. I might be getting a little ahead of myself appointing him captain before he's even signed, but we've kind of passed the captaincy around a little bit over the last few years. Memphis Depay currently the captain. Garcia got a year before we took it off him. So yeah, it would be nice long term for him to come in as captain. If I just upset Depay, I really should read those things before just clicking on them. I'm going to stop showing you all the in-betweeny bits, and we'll be back when the De Ligt transfer is resolved, or for that game, whichever happens laster. Oh, now we've got a dilemma, because I've let the board negotiate this, and they've broken my self-imposed wage structure. But he is the missing piece of the puzzle. He is needed. But he breaks the wage structure. Ah. I wouldn't even break this for Messi. But we need him. I'm now starting to see how they got in the pickle they got into to begin with. I want to say we can make an exception for one player, but what it actually does is puts the wage spend back exactly where it was when I arrived, over the wage budget. It's going to bring us back over 100 million in debt again. The projection can take it though. Oh, we just have to do it. I think it's that important that we bring him in. De Ligt is in. Facundo Torres has gone to Benfica in the end for much less than he was going to leave for. They're actually paying him more than he was getting with us. But De Ligt, it's a massive, massive signing that I think we needed to make. So let's get him into the squad. We're going to immediately put Eric Garcia on the transfer list because he doesn't want to be here. Right, hold on. Let's make sure we've got everyone in the squad who needs to be in the squad. So everyone, that's 25 men. Okay, so that's De Ligt registered as well. He is immediately the best defender at the club. It's such a big signing. But let's get Garcia offered out and on the transfer list. And then check the finances where, yeah, that's not ideal. Yep, that's not ideal. But I think we can still do it. I think we get that back down. This is going to be more of a challenge because we've already sold Torres. Garcia's on his way. Oh, we're going to start pushing ter Stegen out of the door again. I mean, in an ideal world, Garcia's only on 35 grand. We let Sula go here. But we can't let Sula go. Pepetti on a lot of money for a backup. Again, he's the future. Let's just pretend none of it's happening. Stick our head in the sand. I don't see how that could possibly go wrong. A club the size of Barcelona, they can just spend what they want and there's no consequences, right? So 2 changes for the Athletic game then. I've not had to shuffle as much as I thought. There's been a slight knock to Ansu Fati. He's only out for a couple of days, but it makes it very easy to just drop Depay out onto the left wing to replace Fati, and Nonto can come in and make his full debut up front. And then, of course, De Ligt is in, making his debut alongside Eric Garcia for now. Garcia is on the transfer list. I want to keep him in the team for now to try and draw some attention for him. So he'll play for now, and then I've got to decide whether we bring Sula back in alongside De Ligt once Garcia's gone, or if we start building for the future and playing Pepetti, although he's down to 3-star potential, which is a little concerning. Grimaldo going to have to wait a little bit longer before he forces his way back into the side. And Marcus Leonardo, the young Brazilian wonder kid, gets to have a first spot on the bench for today as well. So let's get this team submitted. All eyes on De Ligt and Nonto, I guess. All the new boys. What a Barcelona team this is starting to look like. I'm very excited. Let's go score even more goals today. It'll be perfect. There are going to be a few jump cuts in this second half. I warn you now, I've got the early stages of a cold coming on. The rest of the family have been ill all weekend. I've got a cough. It's not COVID. I have been doing regular tests ever since the rest of them started to get ill. And it's definitely not COVID. It's just this cold that's going around. But what it means is I'm coughing a lot and obviously cutting them out. I don't want you to see me coughing in videos. So I'm editing all of those out as I go. If I leave any in, apologies. But I think I should be editing them all out. Future Kev, you better be editing them all out. But it is going to mean there's going to be some weird looking cuts, I guess. Because normally when I'm doing a live com, we just go all the way through and I don't tend to make any cuts on it and just let you see the match play out as it plays out. But not ideal when I'm coughing and spluttering all over the place. More coughing, less spluttering. There's not been much spluttering so far. Right, Memphis with the free kick. My word, he's had a shot. What a madman. I know he's scored a hat-trick in that first game and he's keen to prove that he is our main striker now. But a cross there wouldn't have done him any harm at all, I don't think. Bellingham is in for his for an opportunity to grab his second goal of the season, but can't keep his header down. And it remains 0-0 on 25 minutes. We've not started as explosively as we started in the first match. Definitely keeping a close eye on Nonto up front just to see if he's going to do anything. Tammy Abraham wasn't expecting to get an opportunity this early, but he's probably going to be on in this second half fairly early. If Nonto doesn't start scoring, Garcia has just scored what might be his last goal for the club. If he moves on before the transfer window ends, as I'd like him to, that might be it. This might be his last game. The man who was our captain last season, I thought he was going to be the future of Barcelona. But ultimately, if he doesn't want to sign a new contract, he doesn't want to sign a new contract. And we are not in a position to let players like that run their contracts down and leave the club for nothing. So he's going to have to move on, which is a shame. I thought he was going to be the new PK and he'd be here forever. Apparently not. Right, Athletic with the chance for a counter-attack, a little breakaway here. Baldi's in with the tackle. Porro is there covering as well. If he can make it across to his man. I mean, in fact, it's De Jong, not Porro, and he does excellent work. Plays it across to Porro, who has now arrived. And now we get the counter-attack moving. The ball over the top from Pedri, looking to utilise the pace of Nonto. He couldn't get past his man, but then had an audacious shot from miles out that unfortunately couldn't dip down below the crossbar. That would have been quite the way to introduce himself to his new club on his debut, but unfortunately wasn't to be. I would have expected him to do the defender for pace a little more than he did. He is lightning quick, and we didn't really see it there. Bellingham playing it forward to Porro, who's pushing forward on this right-hand side. He's gone beyond Pedri and Bellingham, but Bellingham's now come up to join him, and Bellingham has got his second goal of the season. It's 2 from 2 for Jude Bellingham. He has arrived looking like the best player in the Liga already. We've given him this freedom to just basically charge around wherever he wants in those attacking areas. He's got Declan Rice and Frenkie de Jong around him in midfield, doing all the defensive work, allowing Bellingham just to focus on getting forward and getting involved in the attacks. And goodness me, is that what he's doing early on? It's 2-0, and now we are going to make a couple of changes. I want to get Tammy Abraham on, although I wasn't going to bring him on for Nonto, but Depay looks broken. So Tammy Abraham can come on and play on that left wing. Ramdoy to Tammy is back. And I guess this is an opportunity to get Marcos Leonardo on up front ahead of Nonto. And then Pedri can come off for Demir, and we change the entire front three for the final 20 minutes or so of this game. Still keeping an eye on De Ligt. I mean, we've seen nothing from him today. Not that you'd expect to. I would expect our defence to just be relatively unbothered most of the time now. We've got such strong players in there. Leonardo and Abraham linking up nicely, and Tammy Abraham looking to get his first goal of the season. He's not going to be happy that there's 3 players who've played at centre forward in this team before he's had an opportunity to this season. He'd probably be wandering around out there in Ramdoy to Tammy mode, wondering if somehow he's now 4th choice striker at the club, despite being the top scorer in Europe the last couple of years. Don't worry, Tammy, you're not 4th choice. Just needs must today. Memphis he had tired little legs. I don't think it was an injury. I just think he had tired little legs. He's an old man now. He's in his 30s, Memphis Depay. I mean, he's probably someone who should be looking to be moved on if we're trying to get that wage budget back under control again. And Leonardo exploding onto the scene, better than Nonto has, does make me wonder if we could perhaps offer Memphis out now. Do we need Memphis in a world where we've got Nonto, Abraham, and Leonardo, who's just done this? I know Memphis has scored a hat-trick today, but that's absurd. 9 minutes he's played for this football club, and that's how he announces himself for his first goal. He's someone we're going to be using, I think. And we've absolutely dominated this match again. How much money is Memphis Depay on? I can't believe, based on him getting a hat-trick early on, I'm now considering offering him out. But, see, that's a lot of money. He did retire from international football this summer to commit himself to the club, and we then proceeded to make him captain. However, his salary leaving would bring us back down below our wage budget, whereas Garcia won't. So there's a really strong argument that we don't really need him. He's our 5th choice striker, according to that. Our 4th choice left winger. I mean, I know these are taken with a big pinch of salt. We're not going to play Jude Bellingham left wing, for example. We're not going to play Pedri at centre forward, probably, unless we decide to faff around with false nines. But, I mean, if there's a way to tentatively offer him out without upsetting him, I don't think we need him. Of all the players on a lot of money, obviously we need them 4, 5. Tammy, I mean, I guess Tammy, it's Tammy or Memphis. One of them's got to go. It's Pedri we need, Nonto's the future, Sula we need, Porro, Rice, Papetti, these are all players who are going to play a lot or are future stars. Dest, I guess, is on a lot of money for a backup. But he's still young as well. I think we've got to let Tammy or Memphis leave. Oh, this is not a nice decision to have to make. So I'm not going to make it. And we'll leave that for future Kev, and he'll tell you what he's done in tomorrow's episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.